Hey, what's up, guys? So, my name is Mike Marcus. For those of you guys that don't know, I got my own show, Living Your Truth Show, with my partner, Alicia. And pretty much to let you guys know, I was living a double life. I was not living in my truth. So, this is why the show came all about. And I just wanted to let you guys kind of know the insight, about, the real history behind how the show even came about. I had an ex-girlfriend. We was together for 4 years. I was a stepfather as well. And things was going good, right? It was nothing really wrong with the relationship, meaning something that would have broke us. Did we bend a bit? Yes, absolutely. But it was nothing that was going to break us. I didn't have no plans on ever leaving her or not living this life, the rest of my life with her, realistically. That was the whole plan. Me and Alicia ended up reconnecting. For those of you guys that never saw episode 1, go check it out when you get the chance. I go into like how we, me and Alicia go into how we met. And me and her known each other since high school. And we reconnected on one of the days, we reconnected. And when we reconnected, we spoke for 8 hours straight. And this happened at booty call hours, by the way, 12 o'clock at night. But all in all, the reason why, the reason why I even decided, to move forward with Alicia, and that was never the plan for me and Alicia when we first reconnected. We really just hit it off. She made me really just feel really good, to be honest. I was able to be myself. And from that first talk, we spoke about everything, I told her about me having a girlfriend. I told her about me having a stepson. And I was telling her my life. We caught up on life. She told me about everything that was going on with her. Hers, talking to different, guys at the time frame. And, her trials and tribulations, things that was happening in her life. And honestly, she was, from what she was telling me at the time frame, she was like, hey, look, honestly, I'm about to just go upstate. And I was going to just call it. I'm done with the Bronx. And yeah, I'm just packing everything up with the city. And at the time frame, I was just supportive. I was just telling her like, hey, look, if that's what's best for you, you should do that. That's what life is about. You got to make them drastic changes and those tough decisions. And we just kept talking. We kept talking. I kept coming by her. And we probably went out about 3 different times, to be honest, and max, like outside, like where we went on like a date or something like that. Other than that, we was just in the house speaking up extensively about everything and just getting to know each other more in depth and more in depth. And honestly, it was a point in time where I used to tell my friends, I was like, yo, man, I ain't gonna lie, I really like her. Like, I think she cool. You know what I mean? And me, I'm just like, I'm saying that, and my friends looking at me, they like, nah, bro, you love her. And it was like a joke. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, bro, come on, you always over exaggerate, whatever, right? And over time, I kept saying, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, she wild cool. And they laughing, they like, cause you love her, bro. You know what I mean? And I was just like, yo, stop playing, da 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 da. And it's just crazy. Like over time, I just realized I just kept showing up. To be real with you, man, it's just how she made me feel. Like we used to just talk. And, she should just make me feel like I could tell her anything. Like when I say anything, I mean anything. I could literally say anything to her. And I don't know if y'all ever had that feeling with somebody before where you just like, I can say anything and I won't get criticized. I won't feel like, damn, she ain't gonna talk to me again, or she gonna disappear from me. She's gonna be right here no matter what I tell her, right? And that was special for me because I haven't really, I don't know. I just never felt that from a woman before, and I just think at that point in time, of course I was in an ultimatum where it's like, I had no plans on ever leaving my girl. So of course, eventually though, as me and Alicia progressed, what ended up happening was she started to ask me like, oh, so what do you plan on doing? Like, are you planning on telling her? And I'm like, yeah, you know, and, she just was like, okay. And she just let it go, whatever case is. And then there was a point in time she asked me one more time. And I was just like, I didn't really answer her because I kept thinking deeply. And in my mind, I'm just like, me and Alicia can't go on. Like this can't be really a thing because I have my own life going on. And Alicia never promoted like, oh, yeah, you should leave her. Because for Alicia, she believed in polygamy, So her whole thing was not to take me away. She just wanted to be an addition. That was her whole idea. That blew my mind, by the way, because I never met a girl like that before in my life. And because normally girls try to take, the guy way and all the stuff. Like, oh, forget your girl, da da da, she ain't treating you right, whatever, my sex is good and all that crazy stuff, right? But it's like, she never did that one time. Not one time. Not one time. And I was just blown away by just who she was as a person, and this is without me. And all in all, I just was like, I just felt super just comfortable, and I started to realize, like, this is something I never want to live without, like, who wants to live without, something that's like a breath of fresh air. Like, who wants to live without air, right? Like, you can't, technically, and I got to that point when one day I just literally told her, I said, look, I told Alicia, I said, I'm going to just go tell her, She was like, tell her what? I said, I'm going to go tell her about this whole situation, She was like, really? I said, yeah. And literally, that's exactly what I did. I went home and I literally just told her about Alicia, and it was tough. It was tough, for sure. But it was something that needed to be done. And for me, most guys would never do it, I'm sure. But for me, in my heart, that's where I get, like, when things is heavy on my heart, I gotta say it, right? And it's not the easiest thing to do, but I just do it. I just do it because when I say I love somebody, I gotta let them know. I gotta let them know that how I feel, because it don't feel good to me. If something doesn't feel good, like what I'm doing, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe they're doing something wrong to me, I gotta let them know, because I love them, right? That's what you're supposed to do when you say you love somebody. When you love somebody, you gotta tell them how you feel. You have to. So I told her, and when I told my ex-girlfriend that, of course, like, it was actually calmer than what I thought it was going to be. And I think that's just the level of respect that we have for each other. But it was a real conversation. But it became, hey, I'm going to give you a week to think about this, right? And it's crazy because I'm just like, okay. And, I thought longer, but it was like my mind never really changed. Now, when I got to the last day, because I was supposed to make up my mind on Sunday, she gave me basically like 6 days, 7 days to make up my mind. And that's where it got tough, that last day, because I'm like, hold on, nothing really ever changed. Energy's still the same for both. Energy never really changed. And at this point, though, I have to make a decision, because if I don't make a decision, I still made a decision. Does that make sense? Because I have to tell Alicia something, and I have to tell her something. I can't just act like this ain't happened, like I didn't already say, hey, I like this girl, Alicia, and that's it. It just goes away. Now I don't work like that. That's something that's in the air, and I already created that, which is okay, but it's not okay at the moment because I have to make a decision. So at that point, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, man, I had to tell my dad, spoke to him about it, and of course, he loved my ex as well, and I didn't speak to many people. I spoke to 4 people total. I spoke to 2 close friends, I spoke to my mentor, and I spoke to my dad about it. That was it. 4 men. Because I need to hear men's perspective for some reason. I didn't want to speak to a woman, no offense to women. I just didn't want to talk to my mom and nobody about it. I just picked them 4. Because they level-headed. They're people that really know me. That's another thing. And I knew they wasn't going to lie. They love my ex as well. They have respect for her and everything. But they wouldn't lie to me. This decision, my mentor told me, he said, Mike, and this what actually took it over the top for me. I spoke to him last. And I said, he was like, look, Mike, in this life, you got to understand that a lot of times when you're in relationships, it becomes about, right, one another, right? It becomes about us. But in reality, this life is about you and what you want to do. That's what this life is about. It's about how you want to live it. Because at the end of the day, when you get older and you can't do as much, you're going to think back and you're going to say, man, I wish I did that. I wish I seen what that would be like. And he said, Mike, you don't want to live your life like that. You want to live this life knowing that you did everything that you wanted to do. Now, when he told me that, of course, I'm like, I felt a lot better. I felt like a sense of relief because I'm like, wow, that was so profound because he knows me. That's the crazy thing. And he knows himself too. Great guy. I'm a great guy as well. We're intentional with life. And we think so much about other people that a lot of times we sacrifice a lot of things for other people's feelings, not to get somebody upset, or it's just worrying about other people, right? But what about us? What about how we want to live? What about what's best for us, right? And when he made me think of that, he made me think about myself, where it's like, Mike, what do you really want? What can help you get to that place you want to be in life, right? What really, really makes you feel good? That's what matters, right? And it's not nothing against what you already have, but is this what you want necessarily? Do you want to continue to live like this? That's another thing, And when I thought deeply, it was tough because, like I said, Walisha never wanted to come in and take. It wasn't about that. It's an addition. She even wanted to meet her. It's crazy. I don't know. The situation is still crazy to me. Like the thought process, behind it is still crazy to me. But I ended up having to make a decision, and I couldn't live honestly without Walisha. It's crazy because me and her just at that time frame we had just reconnected. It's not like we was talking for years and nothing like that, and like years on years, or we kept up with each other too much. Like we knew of what was going on in some shape or form, but nothing like crazy. I didn't really know, and she didn't really know neither. But I'm just sharing this with you guys just so you can understand, like, you got to live in your truth, man, whatever that looks like. And I'm not here to tell you how to, live in your relationships or whatever you guys believe in. I'm not here to, tell you what to believe in or not. But I'm just saying for the people, especially the men, because I'm a man, I can speak to another man for sure. It's a lot of men. You guys have side girls, let's just say, and you're probably with them for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, whatever. Extensive times. They might as well be your wife, to be realistic with you. But you keep your wife that you already met maybe years before or whatever. And we don't know how to either let them go or let them know, hey, look, this is what it is. And obviously in some cultures, that's okay. In American culture, it's obviously wrong. So Living Your Truth Show, for us, me and Walisha, we stand for love. But the truth in love. Not deceit. Because cheating is deceit. That's all it really is, right? Cheating is deceit, right? Somebody, not your spouse, doing something behind your back with the next partner. That's all it is, and they never tell you. And then you guess what you find out. It's deceit. This is why divorces is going on. This is why breakups is going on. This is why people going to jail type stuff. This is why these things is happening. But all in all, if we stop the deceit, right, and we start living more in our truth, more people will accept the reality. If you love this person and you really, like, this is your person, your life partner, I don't foresee this ever cracking. But I feel like people don't really have that confidence with their partner. This is why, I'm going to say with themselves, right? They don't have that confidence to actually tell the truth. Like, hey, look, I want to live my life like this. And that's okay. It's nothing wrong with that, man. Don't let people, to me, I just don't like when people try to take away. Listen, if let's just say you a man that's into a bunch of females. Yo, that's you. You can live that way. But there's no need for you to lie to girls, gas them up, because guess what? You start to deceive them. There's no need to deceive people in this situation. It's no need. And vice versa, females too. There's no need to have one guy paying your bills, one guy you spend time with, have sex with. It's no need to do all that, to be honest. And if you are doing that, if you are doing that, I should correct myself. If you are doing that, let's be open. Let's be upfront, because you're saving people heartaches. You know what I mean? And that's what the show is about. Living Your Truth Show is the guide to help you guys navigate the journey of real love. Me and Walisha, we utilize our story to help you guys have the courage to live in your truth in your relationships. That's the whole brand story. That's our story. And I really believe that this show will touch many, many lives. Many, many lives. Because once you realize that, like, it's okay to live in your truth, if however you want to live in your relationships, but just be upfront. Let's stop wasting people's times. Let's stop doing that. Let's not waste people's time. And especially not your own time, right? Because it's your life. It's your life. People just in it. I always just say like, yo, it's your world. I'm just in it. That's really true. Outside looking in, outside of you, I'm just in your world. I mean, I'm in your world. That's it. I'm in your world. So all in all, live this life the best way you know how, right? Just stop. Make sure you're doing it in the truth. And whatever you do, make sure you don't let nobody ruin your day. I'm going to leave you on that note.